Shri Gurubhyo Namaga children. I am happy to welcome you all to our online learning initiative. Today, we are going to discuss about the continuation of yesterday's class. In the previous class, we discussed what is fission, what are the types of fission, what is binary fission, what are the different types of binary fission, etc. Now, we are going to discuss about the second mode of asexual reproduction in plants is sporulation. During unfavorable condition, amoeba multiplies by sporulation method without encystment. Encystment is nothing but the envelope of amoeba. See the diagram here. This is the amoeba structure. During unfavorable condition, the nucleus which is present inside the amoeba breaks into several small fragments. That small fragments is called chromatin blocks. Once again I am repeating, nucleus breaks into small fragments called chromatin blocks. Each fragment develop a nuclear membrane surrounded by cytoplasm. After that, a spore will develop around the cytoplasm. When the conditions became favorable to amoeba, the membrane of the amoeba disintegrates. Slowly the spores come out from the amoeba. See here, the spores having nucleus, having cytoplasm. Okay, when the condition became favorable, the parent body disintegrates, the spores are liberated out, each one spore hatching into a young amoeba. See here, this is a young amoeba, the spore hatching a young amoeba. The young amoeba is identical to that of the parent organism. Are you clear, children? Yes. Third method of asexual reproduction, budding. In budding, the parent body produces one or more buds and each bud grow into a new organism. The buds separate from the parent body and lead to a normal life. This is seen in sponges and hydra. In sponges, what is meant by sponges? Sponges is the example for phylum Porifera. You know very well, phylum in animal kingdom, phylum Porifera, Coelenterata, phylum Platyhelminthes, phylum Annelida, phylum Arthropoda, phylum Mollusca, and phylum Echinodermata, phylum Chordata. All these are comes under animal kingdom. In that animal kingdom, first phylum is phylum Porifera. Example is sponges. These sponges reproduce by budding. The buds constrict. Constrict means became narrow and detached from the parent body, and the bud develops into a new sponge. See a diagram of sponges. This is the bud forming. The bud is slowly growing. When it develops into a normal size, it is detached from the parent body and led a normal life. Clear? Yes. When the buds are formed on the outer surface of the parent body, it is said to be exogenous or exogenous budding. Example, hydra. In hydra, when food is plenty, the ectoderm cells increases and form a small elevation on the body surface. See the diagram of a hydra. The bud grows slowly but develops mouth and tentacles. This is called tentacles and this is called mouth. When it is fully developed, it is detached from the parent and led an independent life. Clear? Yes. The fourth mode of reproduction in organism, asexual mode of reproduction, is gemule formation. In freshwater sponges and in some marine sponges, a regular and peculiar mode of asexual reproduction occurs by internal buds called gemules is seen. A completely grown gemule, this is called completely grown gemule, is a hard ball consisting of an internal mass of food laden acrocytes. During unfavorable conditions, the sponges disintegrates, but the gemule cannot. The gemule can withstand. When the conditions became favorable, the gemules began to hatch and produce a new organism. This is one of the mode of reproduction that is called gemule formation. Now, fifth one is fragmentation. Fragmentation means small fragments, pieces. In fragmentation, the parent body breaks into small pieces, and each pieces has the potential to develop into a new organism. Once again, I am repeating. In fragmentation, the parent body breaks into small pieces. Each fragments has the potential, has the capacity to develop into a new individual. Fragmentation or pedal laceration occurs in many genera of sea anemones. Many genus of sea anemones. The fragmentation only see in sea anemones. Lobes are became narrow, constricted off from the pedal disc, and each of the lobe grows and tentacles to form a new sea anemone. In Taenia solium, that is called a tapeworm. The zoological name of tapeworm is Taenia solium. The gravid proglatids. What is gravid proglatids? Gravid proglatids is nothing but the male and female reproductive system present in the segment of tapeworm. See the diagram here. This is the structure of tapeworm. This is called scolex of tapeworm. This is the neck region, and this part is called immature proglottis, and this is called mature proglottis, and the last one is called gravid proglottis. The gravid proglottis contains male and female reproductive system. Okay. The gravid proglottis are regularly cut off, either singly or in groups, from the posterior end of the Taenia solium by a process called apolysis. This is very significant since it helps in transferring the developed embryos from the primary host to the secondary host. Once again, I am repeating. In tapeworm, the gravid proglottis are the oldest and the posterior end of strobila. Strobila is nothing but the segmented part of the body of a tapeworm. That body of the tapeworm have so many segments. The segments are said to be strobila. The proglottis, the gravid proglottis are regularly cut off either singly or in groups from the posterior end by the process called apolysis. This is very significant since it helps in transferring the developed embryos from the primary host to the secondary host. Clear, children? Yes. See the diagram. This is the tapeworm. Zoological name of tapeworm is Taenia solium. This is called scolex. This part is called neck region, and so many segments. Segments is nothing but strobila. The segmented part of the body of tapeworm is called strobila, and this part, from this part, it is said to be immature proglottis, and this is called mature proglottis, and the last heavy large portion, that is called a gravid proglottis. Okay. Then sixth one, the second another mode of reproduction in organism, asexual mode of reproduction in organism, that one is regeneration. Regeneration means regrowth in the injured region. Regeneration is of two types. One is called morphollaxis, another one is called epimorphosis. In morphollaxis, the whole body grows from a small fragment, example hydra and planaria. When hydra is accidentally cut off into small pieces or several pieces, each piece can able to regenerate the lost parts and develop into a whole new individual. Once again, I am repeating, when hydra is accidentally cut into several pieces, each piece can regenerate the lost parts and develop into a whole new individual. Clear? See the diagram here, and this is the structure of hydra. By accidentally the hydra is cut off, the fragments, small pieces can able to develop into a new individual. The formed individual is identical to that of the parent organism. Clear? Yes. Next, the parts usually remain their original polarity with oral ends. Oral ends means anterior end by developing tentacles, and aboral ends by producing basal disc. In epimorphosis, the replacement of lost parts, it is of two types. One is reparative, another one is called restorative. In reparative regeneration, only certain damaged tissue can be regenerated. In reparative, the damaged tissue only regenerated, whereas restorative regeneration, the whole parts, the injured parts, the damaged part or the broken part can develop. Example, starfish and tail of wall lizard. See the diagram here. This is a wall lizard. The tail part is cut off. After a period of time, it slowly grows into a normal tail. See the starfish structure. The cut off part is slowly developed. So this is called regeneration. What regeneration? Restorative regeneration. Once again, I am repeating, in reparative regeneration, only the damaged tissue can be regenerated. But in the case of restorative regeneration, severed body parts, the damaged body parts, the broken body parts can develop. Example, starfish tail and tail of wall lizard. Clear, children? Yes. The next topic is sexual reproduction. You know very well about the sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction is nothing but involves the fusion of male and female gametes to form a diploid zygote, which develops into a new organism. The sexual reproduction leads to genetic variations. The types of sexual reproduction seen in animals are syngamy. Syngamy is nothing but fusion of gametes. Another one is conjugation. In syngamy, the fusion of two haploid gametes. One is male gamete, another one is female gamete. Both are haploid in nature. The fusion of two haploid gametes takes place to produce a diploid zygote, that is called syngamy. Syngamy, gamy means fusion. Fusion of two gametes, that is called syngamy. Clear, children? Yes. Depending upon the place, Where the fertilization takes place, it is of two types. One is called external fertilization, another one is called internal fertilization. In external fertilization, the fusion of gametes takes place outside the body of female organisms in the water medium. Once again, I am repeating. In external fertilization, the fusion of gametes takes place outside the body of female organisms in water medium. Example, sponges, fishes, and amphibians. But in the case of internal fertilization, the fusion of gametes, that is male and female gametes, takes place within the body of female organisms. Example, reptiles, aves, and mammals. Different kinds of syngamy are prevalent in many of the organisms. In case of many organisms, different types of syngamy takes place. Autogamy. What is autogamy? Autogamy is nothing but the male and female gametes are produced in the same cell or same organism, but the gametes fuse together to form a zygote. Both these gametes fuse together. Once again, I am repeating. In autogamy, the male gametes and the female gamete are produced by the same cell or same organism, and both these gametes are fused together to form a zygote. Auto means same, gamy means fusion. Clear? Example, paramecium. In exogamy, exo means different. The male and female gametes are produced by different parents, different organism, different parents, and they fuse to form a zygote. So it is called, it is said to be biparental. Once again, I am repeating. In exogamy, exo means different, gamy means fusion. The male and female gametes are produced by different parents, that is male parent and the female parent, and they fuse to form a zygote, that is called exogamy. It is also called as biparental. Example, humans. The next topic is parthenogenesis. Genesis means synthesis, formation. Okay. Development of an egg into a complete individual without fertilization is called parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis is of two main types, namely natural parthenogenesis and artificial parthenogenesis. In certain animals, parthenogenesis occurs regularly, constantly, and naturally in their life cycle, and such type of parthenogenesis is said to be natural parthenogenesis. Once again, I am repeating. In certain animals, parthenogenesis occurs regularly, constantly, and naturally in their life cycle. Such parthenogenesis is called natural parthenogenesis. Example, some fishes, amphibians, etc. Animals are classified mainly into three groups, namely viviparous, oviparous, and oviviviparous. Depends on the site of development of embryo and whether they lay eggs or give birth to young ones. In oviparous animals, oviparous means egg laying animals. The animals, they produce, they give, they hatch egg. That is called egg laying animals. In oviparous animals, the young organism, the young one, the young hatch from the eggs laid outside the mother's body. Once again, I am repeating. In oviparous animals, the young hatch from eggs laid outside the mother's body. Example, reptiles, birds, invertebrates, fishes, birds, fishes and amphibians. And next one is viviparous. Viviparous is nothing but give rise to young one. Viviparous animals is nothing but give rise to young ones. Viviparity is a type of development in which the young ones are born alive after being nourished in the uterus throughout the period through the placenta. Once again, I'm repeating, viviparous animals give rise to young ones. Viviparity is nothing but is a type of development in which young ones are born alive after being nourished in the uterus through the placenta. Majority of mammals, including human beings, are viviparous only. The last one is oviviparous. It is nothing but oviparous and viviparous. In oviviparous animals, the embryos develop inside the egg and remains in the mother's body until they are ready to hatch. Once again, I'm repeating. In oviviparous animals, the embryo develops inside the egg, remains inside the mother's body until they are ready to hatch. This method of reproduction is similar to viviparity, but the embryos have no placental connection with the mother and receive their nourishment from the egg yolk. Oviviparity is seen in fishes like shark. See the diagram here? This type of reproduction, this type of reproduction is said to be oviviparous. The embryos develop inside the egg and it is remains in the mother's body until they are ready to hatch. This type of reproduction, oviviparity, is seen in fishes like shark. Thank you, children. We will see in the next class.